I've had a year of memories between that night and now. You'd think the lines would blur and my words would be lost. I may forget my thoughts or all the little things in between. I shouldn't remember how it felt to be so afraid and unsure of what was happening. But I do. I remember all of the vivid little details, regardless of how fogged my mind should have been. Granted, there are some fuzzy moments, but those aren't due to the time in between. The moments missing from that night, I wasn't conscious to store them permanently in the back of my mind. They still consume me, though. Those blank moments fill my nights. I tighten up, grind my teeth, and fall into a lost world that I nearly claimed as my own 12 months ago. May 16, 2011, I tried to kill myself. I never woke up and planned it. I never put a real thought together on the subject. I went out that morning, myself, hanging out with friends, going to the city, and I came home a shell. I was empty by no means. I was filled with hatred, abandonment, and just a darkness I can't describe. It was kind of spur of the moment as I was walking through the door to my house. It took one text message. He called me a whore and told me to leave him alone. At the time I had loved him. He was a part of me. A part of me that obviously didn't want to tag along. I snapped. I told him I would, and the next thing I knew, I had 34 5-milligram Valium flowing through my blood. As I lay in bed, I looked at a bouquet that I had pressed for my grandmother's funeral. I lay there for a long time looking at it, waiting for the pills to kick in and take me away. I started to feel slow, and I texted all my friends, telling them I loved them. The cruelest part of that night was getting every text back, telling me they loved me too. Hadn't I factored that part in before I took the pills? Of course not. I was just about to doze off, and I looked up at the flowers one last time. I said, "Hey, Grandma, I'll see you soon." I woke up with the phone in my hand, and my friend Natalie screaming in my ear. Whatever was said between us was lost to the Valium, but I knew I had to get outside. I vaguely remember grabbing the medication bottle, but forgetting shoes, as I stumbled my way out the doors and walking right into the street. Natalie's voice was gone, and there was a new woman on the phone, asking me questions that I could surprisingly answer. She asked if I was wearing black pants and a gray hoodie. I was. She asked if I saw lights. I did. She asked if they were getting closer, and they were. I don't remember getting in the car or the car stopping, but it all seems instantaneous. I was just sitting there in the back while the sheriff in front of me ran through the reasons that boys aren't worth this, and all I could remember thinking at that point was, yeah, no kidding, but I couldn't talk. He was really nice from what I remember. He asked if I liked country music, as Sarah Evans was singing Stronger in my ear. As gone as I was, I could feel the irony. I had let a boy completely tear me so far into a nothingness that I'd landed myself here, in the back of an officer's car, with no shoes, and an empty pill bottle. Somewhere along the lines, Natalie arrived, and was standing behind the sheriff, and then my brother was hugging me. I woke up in the ambulance with the paramedics screaming at me not to go to sleep. "I'm so tired, though," was the only thing I could think. It felt so unfair that these people keep me awake. I don't remember the ride, and I couldn't tell you if the paramedics were male or female, or if there was music. I remember the needles in my arms, though. And they put socks on my feet. And I remember the lights were painful, and trying to fight the drugs. The holes kept getting bigger and bigger, and soon I was in the ICU. My mom, dad, brother, Natalie, and our friend Derek were all there, already. How? Was the only thing I could get my mind to think. How had Derek made it from Cleveland to Chardon so quickly? I tried to ignore my family's face, but they still haunt me. I can't even place words dark enough to describe them. That broke me more than Ryan had. I'll save you the details of the hospital stay. No one needs to hear stories like that. I was released the next day, but only to a mental hospital about 40 minutes away. That story is for another video, though. May 16th, 2011. I tried to kill myself. Surviving has given me so much, but there are moments when I wish I could have that relief back. Just knowing that I was going to fall asleep and never have to wake up, never have to feel that pain again, made all of it seem worth it. May 12th, 2012. The pain hasn't stopped. I've just grown away from it, grown out of it. I learned a lot of lessons that night, but those lessons don't always erase the desire. I've since learned that I have borderline personality disorder, and that may have helped trigger the suicide attempt. It's frightening, knowing that that day could just be like any in my future. I could wake up happy and loving life, and fall asleep trying not to wake up again. It's a reality I fight every day, and every day I'm gonna win that battle.